Hi everybody, welcome to this show. Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. My name is Amanda. This is Raising A to Z, an informational and inspirational YouTube channel all about homeschooling. And we are in the middle of a little series where we're tackling the fears of homeschooling. So we polled some of our followers and we asked them, what are some of your biggest fears you have about homeschooling? As a new homeschooler or as a veteran homeschooler, what are some of your biggest fears? These are some of the things that they gave us, some of these things that are actually make them nervous about homeschooling. And so we decided every week for the month of October, because it's a spooky month, we're going to tackle something that scares us when it comes to homeschooling and explain why it doesn't really have to be that scary. So today's topic is a concern that a lot of homeschoolers have, new and veteran, and they are worried about, what if I miss something? What if I miss a certain topic or subject and somehow that messes my kid up for their entire lives? It's a real concern because you don't want your kids to ever be held back because you forgot to teach them something. That is a fear of all parents, right? Like, you want your kids to have the best chance in life, and the fear that you did something or you forgot to teach them something, it's a concern. Like, you don't want to send them out into the world and they not know something vitally important, right? So here's the truth. You will. You will miss something that is taught in the public school system. And it's going to be a history topic or a science topic or this geographical feature that they talked about in the 8th grade for like 30 seconds. That's okay. Because here's the thing, the kids in public school, even though they're learning it, doesn't necessarily mean that it's important or that they're really absorbing it, right? They're putting it in their heads and they're regurgitating and moving on. The nice thing about homeschooling is we are gearing what we're teaching to our children. And that means that they're studying things that they're really interested in and that might not be taught in the public school system. It's kind of like this give and take of like, you know, while we might not teach this, we are teaching this kind of situation. Obviously, you want to focus on having some foundationals. You want them to be able to read and write and spell and do basic math. Once you get past those like basic foundational blocks, your world as a homeschooler is much larger than the world of a public school kid. And so you actually are going to have a lot of freedom to teach what you want and what is going to be the most interesting to your child. So will you miss something that's taught in public school? Yes. But instead of thinking about and worrying about the question, what if my child misses something or what if I miss teaching them something? I want you to focus on two very important questions. Focus on number one, does my child need to know this? Is this important for my child? And number two, can they learn it later when they want to or need to? Does it matter to my child? Every kid is different. Every child in the world is different. And that means, you know, what interests me and what my focus and foundations and what I do with my life is very different than, you know, Stacy down the street. So what I need to learn in life and what she needs to learn in life are two very different things. We've been conditioned that every child needs to get straight A's in every subject across the board. They need to be equally strong in math, science, history, geography, phys ed, art, dance, language, reading, writing, like math, like everything. They need to be equally strong, great straight A students, right? We've been conditioned with that. That's what the school system perpetuates, even though their expectations are to hit about a B level. That's what they aim for, that the majority of the students hit a B. But that doesn't make sense. Not everybody has the aptitude or like the natural interest or ability to be perfect at everything. Like that, no one is perfect at everything or every subject. So why do we expect kids to be like that? Why are we focusing on kids' inabilities instead of like really glorifying their strengths? So if a kid is not great at art or is not fantastic in science, but really great at writing, let's really focus on that rather than like, you know, harping at them over the science, right? So I'm going to use myself as an example. I am currently a stay-at-home mom and homeschooler, but previously I was a certified teacher here in Ontario and I taught in a private school. To become a teacher, I had to take all of these classes. Even through high school, I had to have advanced maths, I had to have some sciences. I remember taking like grade 12 physics, I had to take calculus, like all these different classes to get to even apply to Teachers College and University. Let me tell you, I never used any of the classes that I ever took in high school, with the exception of maybe my English. but I was also a history and English major in university. It would have been far better if I had had some choice in what I was learning and focus on things that I was really interested in, or focus on learning things that were going to benefit me as an adult. I would have loved to have learned more about coding and website design, because that's what we do now. I would have loved to have learned more about writing and creative writing and editing and all that, which is not something that I really had a chance to do because I had to fill my timetable with science and math, as well as some other courses just to get into university. So that being said, all those courses don't really benefit me now. So I really wish I would have had a chance to not do them and really to do what I wanted and what was good for me, because those are my strengths, is writing and creativity and things like that. So basically, this all comes down to, if your child is mathematically inclined, do they really need to know all these things about geography? Do they really need to know about the War of 1812 in depth and have it completely memorized? No, they can know that there was a war in 1812 and it was between the Americans and the Canadians, and boom, you're done. Like, we don't need to, penalize our kids because they missed out on learning something, when really their strengths and their aptitudes and what they're going to do in their lives are going to be so much more dependent on focusing on what they are really, really good at. And then we're going to jump into the second question I asked you, which is, can they learn it later? I think this is our biggest job as homeschoolers. It's not to cram facts and knowledge down our kids' throats. It's to teach them how to learn. We want to teach them to be able to find sources, to be able to research, to be able to, if they have a question, to find the answer from a reputable source, right? I think that as homeschoolers, that should be our focus, is teaching our kids how to learn. Because if they know how to learn, they can learn anything. So maybe right now they're not super interested in history of British North America, but maybe 5 years down the line, they're like, hey, I'm really into that. Maybe then they want to jump into and learn all those things. Even though in our public school system that might be like a grade 6 or 7 kind of topic, they're gonna be just as interested and maybe even go deeper and more, study it even more, because they're actually interested in it, even if they are older or even younger. They're gonna learn what they want to learn, and then they'll be good. A big concern of parents is, well, what if I miss something and they need that to get into university? They can learn it later. When they learn it later, they actually learn it more deeply and they're more interested in it, because now not only does the topic that they're learning about, it has interests them, it also has a purpose to them. So I need to learn this advanced calculus class because it is a prerequisite for me to get into this like pre-med program, for example, or I need it to get into engineering, or I need to take this course to get into this program, or something like that, right? There's now a purpose as to why they are learning this. And because they're older, because they've learned how to learn, many kids can actually learn multiple grades worth of a topic in a very short period of time. For example, many kids who aren't really mathematically inclined or not mathematically interested as homeschoolers, when they decide they do want to learn some math and they learn it much later on, for example, they pick it up when they're 12, 13, 14 years old, they can often do 3, 4, 5, 6 years of math education in approximately 1 year studying it at home. So, like I said, the question isn't what if I miss something? It should be, can they learn it later when it means something to them and when it's important to them and when it has a purpose in their life? That's what we want to focus on. It's not that, we're going to miss something, because we're going to miss things in life. Like, there's things in the world that I don't know about, and that's okay, because it doesn't affect me or my family or my life as it is. Like, I don't need to know about advanced physics. I'm a stay-at-home mom making YouTube videos for you guys. So we need to stop focusing on knowing everything and focus on learning what we love and learning how to learn what we love and what we're interested in. Don't worry about if you miss something. Focus on, do they need it, and can they learn it when they want to? Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe and click the bell to get notifications. We put out a new video every Monday, and like I said, right now we're right in the middle of our fear series, so we'll be tackling a new fear next week. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We put out daily tips, quotes, activity ideas on there all the time. So yeah, make sure you follow us, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.